Welcome back to the Coaches Show and for another segment here in the Glenville State University Athletic Department. And our guest for this segment is head women's golf coach Mike McGarry. Coach, thanks for joining us here this morning.
Thank you and good morning.
Okay, tell you what, another week of going toe-to-toe with some of the top teams in the region, the champions of women's golf tournament up with Ohio Dominican up there in Ohio. Big weekend. I know you talked last week about, the importance of, tackling this course against these teams. What's your takeaway from the weekend and getting that another strong performance? Even though I know it's not what you wanted in full, but I mean, it was
last week
definitely toe-to-toe.
Yeah, last week I said I had nothing to complain about. And this week, we don't have enough time in this segment. We just were sloppy. We're missing 2-foot and 3-foot putts, not managing the game properly. But that's the golf course. The golf course is very, very hard. The greens are tiny. They're narrow. They're undulated. The girls played well. But believe me when I tell you this, we have not even touched our potential. And that's a comment I'm making seriously, even after Hendershot shoots under par for 2 days down at Edgewood. We're not even close. We're really not even close. And if it does come to fruition, it all happens, oh, my God, people's eyebrows are going to raise and go, this is something special. And so will I.
Yeah, and I know you're looking for consistency as a group, and it's been hit and miss with real strong individuals. This week it was Fickle and Bicker coming out and knocking out some big numbers, and Kendall wasn't too far behind there.
Lizzie Bicker, for whatever reason, going back to last spring, or even the spring before when she won at Marietta, she's really started to find her mojo, and she's cleaned up the things that have held her back, and now she's starting to play good golf. And believe it or not, we have yet to see the best of her. I mean, there's a lot of golf that's in the tank, so to speak.
Well, we'll get to Lexus Fickle in a moment. I know she was sixth out of a 90-player field, but when you and I talked coming back, you said if Lizzie would have knocked down a few more putts, she could have been right there where Lexus was.
Oh yeah, easily. Lizzie, what killed Lizzie was the hole number 2, the par 3. She misses it right. You, honest to God, can't get the ball even on the green. It's so hard. It's so narrow, the way the green's sloped, and she makes double. But, I mean, she comes back and grinds out, 10-footer after 10-footer, hitting it close. Just putts aren't falling. It's the same story from the week before, but when they fall, it's going to be sweet. Yeah.
Now get to Lexus. Played number 1 this week. She came from that national powerhouse at Findlay. Now she's with us, and is in your top unit, and of course she works in here with us. I know she was disappointed those first 2 weeks, but she really had a strong tournament for you up here this weekend.
She did, and she shot 150, 151, 75, 76. Missed a 2-foot putt on the last hole, which had a 6-inch break, but again, she had 4 3 putts in round 1 shooting 75. You get rid of that, you're at 71. And a couple, didn't hit greens from 100 yards or inside 100. You turn that at 142, 144 real quick. Just cleaning up a couple of little things. That's really what's holding this team back.
Well, I know how you've gone toe-to-toe with these top regional teams. I know you're checking the box of building the body of work for a resume for the NCAA tournament in the spring. So... And that will continue, and in the spring. But now we're just within 2 weeks in of the league championship tournament up at Avalon Lakes up in Warren, Ohio. Inside of 2 weeks, what's the mindset now? What's the strategy, how you're preparing the team from now going into that?
Nothing's changed. When the kids showed up on campus, I said, whatever you brought to the campus, stay with it. Let's clean up chipping philosophies. Let's clean up the technique. Let's clean up the grip and everything else. And alignment's a big problem with these kids. But let's just tighten everything up and go forward. And I'm going to tell you, if these kids play and it comes out, you're going to scratch your head and go, holy cow, this is really good. There's that much talent. And I'll be honest, I'm shocked it's here. I don't know how I got it here. I mean, we may want to go buy a lottery ticket today.
It's a really nice collection of talent. We're very, very proud of the players that have really, brought this thing along to where it is. And, you've built a big roster and a deep roster. Going into that, I remember last year you had talked about, because you had, big hitters, you got big hitters this year. Is it was the short game that won you the championship. They were able to save a lot, and you were preaching that going in. They were really good from 130 yards in.
Yep.
Is that really your focus going into the next couple of weeks?
100%. Anybody who coaches college golf at this level, the D1 level, you just take the yardage, make it longer, make it 165, 150, whatever the number is. But at the D2 level, and I watched Finley 2 years ago when the year they won the national championship, we were paired with them over in Columbus. They did not miss a green from $135, and I was sitting there going, "That's it. If we could tighten that up and clean up around the greens, we're gold."
Yep. But a 10-foot putt counts the same as that 250-yard drive. Right?
It does, doesn't it?
Yep. Well, with the way you've laid the schedule out, do you feel like the courses that you've played has how that strategy is lined up with preparing you? Because Avalon, the NCAAs were played there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the length, how the hazards are set up. This weekend, I guess, was a prime example of trying to put them in a difficult situation to handle adversity.
That's a huge part of the schedule. So we started the year at Glade at Stonehaven, and that golf course is just brutal. Then we go over and play Donald Ross at Edgewood, and that golf course was wet. So when that golf course is firm and fast, those scores are 320, 330 all day long. The golf course is that difficult. We just got lucky with a wet track. Last week in Columbus, it's a gem. I mean, it's tiny greens. It's tree lined everywhere. This week we're going to Ashland Country Club. Those scores will be high. There's no one's going. Anybody shoots in the 200s, the talent came out, and then of course we have Avalon after that. Yeah. And Avalon's a monster. Let's be honest, it's a monster.
It's a monster, and but that's I know our commissioner likes to to put. And he's a golf guy, so he really likes to have his championship, in a prime course that's really going to test collegiate golfers.
And it does. I mean, Avalon is a beast.
Well, I tell you what, Coach, you're doing a great job here, and we'll talk further next week on the heels of your trip to Ashland and set the table for for the championship, which is the first Mountain East Championship event on our calendar. So we're looking forward to that. So we'll stay in touch. And thanks for joining us today, Coach.
You got it, sir. Thank you.
All right.